What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another episode of Movie Talk with Chris and Stig. I'm here, and right there is Stig. Stig, how you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. Just
That's
had some grilled cheese sandwiches, so I'm quite happy.
what type of cheese?
Some Norwegian cheese.
Norwegian. So, do you guys call like your standard just basic cheese Norwegian cheese over there, like we call it
It's
American here?
it's actually called Norwegia.
Norwegia.
Yeah, you know,
Interesting.
almost like Norwegia, but with a single, normal V, not a W.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh,
Nice.
very creative.
Yeah. Whatever. That works. What does it taste like? Can you compare it to
Uh,
another cheese?
no,
Okay, cool. So it's its own distinct flavor.
it's just regular cheese.
Oh, damn. I don't know what to say
It's
about that. But
it's made from goat's milk.
yeah, okay. Yeah. But you're making me jealous just from the sheer fact that you had grilled cheese. It's just I don't know. Hey JJ and David, how you guys doing? Yeah, we're here to talk Total Recall, as you can see from this and from the background and maybe the thumbnail. That maybe you got an idea that we were talking Total Recall. So today we're going to talk Blade Runner again. We're going to talk Total Recall today. And just before the show, the genius Stig came up with some good ideas to how we can perfect things here. And so we're going to try to do something a little different. And we got some segments here. Now, also, this is a kind of an interesting thing. I'm testing this out also on Facebook Live. So I've never done this before. So if you watch on Facebook, just understand I've never done this. I'm not watching it, so I don't know how it's going to come across. But if you're watching, thank you, guys. All right. Do me a favor. If you're also watching, you thought it was Stargate. Well, JJ, I'm sorry. Maybe at another time. I'm not sure if Stig likes Stargate. Steve?
Then you are lost.
Yes, you're lost. You just have to kind of catch up. Yeah, but if you're watching this, guys, please do me a favor. I have a pinned tweet on my Twitter at chrisknight5150. If you're not following me, please do follow me. But it's pinned tweet on my Twitter. Please do me a favor and tweet that out so other people know we are live. So let's start this off. Our first segment is First Impressions. First Impressions. So, Stig, I'll start with you. What was your first impression of this movie?
Well, I watched it on VHS, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
for the first time. So quite a while after it was released on cinema.
Mm-hmm.
But back then you probably didn't even hear about movies until they showed up on VHS in the stores or whatever. Because
Not
I
like you do
was a
today.
kid, I didn't pay attention. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we took movies for granted that back then. I remember I saw it at a friend's place. He had gotten it. That one and some other action movies. Sat down and watched it. I was like, yeah, this isn't bad. Arnold Schwarzenegger kicking ass and all that. I didn't understand the story completely back then, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a fairly deep or philosophical story, maybe. I don't know.
It is, and I'll get to that later. Since
But
we have segments to say that stuff. So,
I did enjoy the action.
the
That's
which action?
Yeah, the
Yep.
action
Yep.
and the fun stuff. So, but I watched it a lot of times after that, though, because back then if you got a hold of a VHS movie, you watched it to death, and until you had to return it, or the friend you borrowed it from wanted it back or something. So I liked it. I never had it as one of my favorite Arnold movies, though.
Okay.
Well, hello there.
Mm.
Lady Toriel has given
Ah.
you money.
Whoa.
Elven coins.
Well, the $2 super chat from Lady Tariel. Thank you very much. You are a great, great person. Everybody's great. I'm not going to say that just because you gave me money. That's not the point. But you, Lady Toriel, are a great person.
Oh,
We
she is.
always appreciate you having coming around.
She's the best elf on the internet.
I'm looking at the chat here with David saying Ronnie Cox from RoboCop is a cool villain here too. All right, so my first impression, I seem to remember going to the theater for this one. I was just going into high school, right around that age, and truth be told, I think I went with my church youth group, which is weird. I've gone to several like rated R movies with my church youth group, which I don't know how they ever swung that, but they wanted to go see it too, so we went to go see it, which again has an interesting scene we'll talk about later.
So you didn't stand a prayer?
No, we did not. But I do remember that one of the big things that I liked about this is it's based off of a book by a writer that I really like, but we'll talk about that again later when we get into some of the other stuff. And
The writer is a bit of a dick, isn't he?
yes, he is. But I liked the idea behind it, and I don't know, it has cool visuals. It's a different storyline than a lot of stuff that's action based. A lot of action based is just, here's your hero. He's stuck in a situation. He's going to fight his way out. This is a little different because our hero starts out as not technically the hero. He doesn't know who he is. And so you get that flip on it.
Or does he know who he is?
Well, that's the thing. It's a question of, is it really him or is it not? And I liked that aspect of it. So I liked the flip of it. I like the fact that you don't know throughout the whole movie if it's real or if it's not. That's a central plot point for it. It's imaginative with the different creatures and stuff. I just liked the look of it. And it's it's not my favorite either of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, but I guess it shows some versatility in him because there's a lot of it's a lot different than a lot of other stuff he's done. A lot of stuff like a straightforward action. This is kind of like even a little more far off than Terminator.
Would you agree if I said it's in the same alley as The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis?
Oh, absolutely. I think I would actually say that without anything being out there putting it there, I'd say they both would happen in the same universe. They feel very similar. I mean, that whole scene when he's getting in the cab and stuff, or when he's in the cab, that whole scene right there in that lower like travel area and all of that is very similar to when they're going to get on the cruise ship from Fifth Element.
I see David in the chat dishing out my favorite line from the movie.
Yep.
Benny, screw you.
Yep.
Awesome. And he drills him, so it's kind of a pun.
Oh, yeah. Yep. This movie kind of grossed me. Well, I'm going to get into that too. The Johnny Cab, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely, Lady Toriel. Better. This is so much better than the remake. The remake was just, I don't know what they were trying to do with that. Again, there's sometimes you just don't need to redo movies. And this was a movie that didn't need to be redone. So,
yeah. Speaking of the Johnny Cab, I rewatched the movie the other day.
Oh, don't. We'll get to that later.
Oh yeah, we have segments, don't we?
Yes, we got segments now. So let's
stay tuned for some Johnny Cab segments.
Yes, guys, stick around.
In 20 minutes.
Yes, we're gonna get there. So guys, just wait. So let's go to the next segment. We're gonna do behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, and let's talk about this. A little bit about the director, Paul I can't even say his last name.
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven, thank you.
It's Dutch.
Yes.
You pronounce the V as an F, I believe.
Verhoeven. Okay, cool. He's got pretty good, a pretty extensive background and filmography. The notable ones that he's directed would be RoboCop, Basic Instinct, Starship Troopers, and then Hollow Man. And like I just said a little bit ago,
And a very, very good one that's underrated.
yes,
Flesh and Blood with
yes,
Rutger Hauer and
hmm
Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's a
that's right. That is,
medieval drama action thing. Very
yeah,
good.
yes. And then of course the equally underrated and beautifully acted out movie Showgirls.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's a gem.
yes, it is Gem. Yikes! That's what happens when a teen actress or a teen TV drama actress decides to break into movies.
Yeah, she was in pole position.
Oh yes. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, so he has some awards. He's won an Academy Award for Turkish Delight in 1973, Best Foreign Language Film.
Also
Uh,
starring Rutger Hauer, actually.
I
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Did it? Okay.
yeah.
And
He
actually, he was
was.
just nominated for that one in 1977 for Soldier of Orange. Of
I
Orange.
think I think Hauer is in that one too.
He's.
Uh,
I wouldn't doubt it. Howard was in a
And
lot of foreign films, so
yeah, he was supposed to be a RoboCop, but he
oh,
had a falling out with Paul Verhoeven during the shooting of Flesh and Blood.
I did not know that. Um, he was nominated for Soldier of Orange. Then L, another foreign film, he won that in 2016, a Golden Globe Award. The BAFTA Awards, he's been nominated twice, once for Black Book in 2006 and in 2016 for Elle. The César Award, the Caesar Award, however you want to say it, in 2016. Elle got one for Best Film, and he was nominated for Best Director. Saturn Awards, he won for Best Director for RoboCop in '87, but for Total Recall, Basic Instinct, and Starship Troopers, he was nominated on all of those. And then Golden Raspberry Awards, of course, 1995, he won Worst Director for Showgirls, which I don't know if I would blame that more on writing and everything. I'm not sure that that
It
movie
wasn't
could have been.
that it
I,
wasn't that
I
poorly directed.
No, and that's the thing. I think people just took the crappy movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I guess in this one, Starship Troopers and
sorry.
RoboCop, you you see a lot of his unique style, where his humor is very very dark. It's dark humor,
Mm-hmm.
and you see it a lot in the TV ads and stuff in the background of those three movies,
Mm-hmm.
where people are basically being killed on live television,
Oh, yay.
and that's a common thing in all those three movies.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah,
Hello, Miss Martin Muse. Martin Muses, sorry. Hello, and I took care
hello
of that
there,
for you,
Miss.
JJ.
Hello there, Miss Martin.
Yes. So the let's see here. It was produced by I don't know if anybody that we probably know, Buzz Feitshens, and then Ronald Schutz or something like that. Let's see here. Well, we can talk about the music. Jerry Goldsmith. He has a
Yeah,
lot of credits to his name.
yeah. He does an excellent job in this one too.
Yes. I mean, I think a lot of the movies that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in were by always helped by the music. I think the music always does really well. Yeah. So let's see here. See. Yeah, I mean, you can go through Jerry Goldsmith's freaking career, and it's crazy. In the '90s, Total Recall, Gremlins 2, the Russia House, Help, Sleeping with the Enemy, Mom and Dad Save the World. Which say what you will about the movie, but Medicine Man, another good movie. I think maybe I'm biased. But Basic Instinct, Forever Young, Mr. Baseball, Gladiator, Super Mario Brothers. Weird.
The
Or he was
uh,
rejected for that, but
the movie was nominated for an Academy Award for best
Mm.
sound effects and editing, and best visual effects. It only won for the visual effects though,
Yeah.
but still, it's nominated for 3 Oscars. That's pretty good for an action movie back then.
It won for best visual effects, like you said, best sound editing, dialogue, and ADR, best sound editing, sound effects, best science fiction film, and best costume. So it won 5, and it was nominated for 7.
It was nominated for 3 Oscars. Only won one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Paul Verhoeven, though, was nominated for a Hugo Award.
And Saturn Award, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Saturn Awards.
Yeah, I mean, but that's more for sci-fi and stuff. So yeah, outstanding foreign film by the Japan Academy Prize was nominated. BAFTA, it had 1 nomination. Hugo Award, 1 nomination. So yeah, I mean, it got notoriety. Yeah, so let's move on to the next segment, which would be the cast. Let's talk about the cast here really quick. Well, of course, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think I know that most of his movies, his characters are always changed to who he is. I mean, he's played characters that were described in books or originally in the script as scrawny or meek and stuff like that, and they always change it because I think eventually it comes around to
Arnold bankable.
Basically, I mean, and so it's your typical Arnold Schwarzenegger character. I mean, really. So, but like we said, Sharon Stone plays his wife. Michael Ironside is in it.
Yeah, it plays the. I guess the Arnold's main antagonist through the movie.
Mm-hmm. Richter, something like that.
Yeah, Richter.
Yeah. Let's see here. Well, Ronnie Cox, of course, is in it.
Rachel Ticotin.
Ticotin.
Yeah. She's actually, for some reason, she's billed lower than Sharon Stone, even though Rachel was the love interest.
Well, when I look at it on Wikipedia, it shows her above her.
Yeah.
But if it's on IMDb, who knows? Possibly because of last name. Sometimes they put it in order of last name, and that would put Stone ahead of Ticotin.
And this is the second movie where Dean Norris from Breaking Bad stars in an Arnold movie, because he was in Terminator 2 as well as the leader of the SWAT team, and in this movie he plays a mutant.
Yeah. Rachel, it appears here, was originally supposed to be in Natural Born Killers. It said that her scenes were deleted. Looking at her career here, Con Air. Oh, that's right, she was in Con Air. Full Disclosure, Something's Gotta Give. She was in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 1 and 2. But yeah, she's got some credits to her name.
Yeah, she was really good in this one.
Oh yeah, no, I think that most of the time when you have a female character that they pair up against Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think they do a really good job because one, it's typically a female not of American descent, typically, which works really well most of the time.
Isn't it kind of the opposite with Harrison Ford, because they get good actors, and then that lady doesn't have a career after?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of people say that in some senses that Harrison Ford with the women actors is kind of rough with them as far as he has a certain way of acting, and if you don't fall in line with that, and so I think, I don't know if it's tough to work with her, and then the director gets asked, well, how was it? Well, we had to do 50 shoots for this and this and this, and it may not actually be her fault. It may be that Harrison Ford's a certain way. I've heard things, but nothing that I can confirm. Yeah, but
Arnold Schwarzenegger, though, always gets praised for being really easy to work with.
But Michael Ironside, I'm trying to remember what his filmography is. He's in a ton of stuff.
He was actually in Terminator 4, the only Terminator that doesn't have Arnold in it.
Well, he was in Top Gun, of course. I'm looking at scanners.
Michael Ironside is the best actor in this movie.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Awesome in it.
Yeah. Let's see here. The Surrogate. Like I said, Top Gun. Nowhere to Hide. There was a pretty good one. Watchers. Total Recall, of course. Highlander 2, which they didn't have to make that movie.
No, well, to be fair, that movie wasn't his fault.
Yeah, that's true. Free Willy. Bolt.
Free Willy, is that movie about the Flasher?
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. The Next Karate Kid. That's Major Pain. Kids of the Round Table. Chicago Cab. Starship Troopers. He was also in.
Oh yeah.
Where he even seems to like to use the same people. Of course, a lot of directors are like that.
Yeah, and you have Ronnie Cox as well showed up in.
Oh, that's right. Going to Kansas City. The Omega Code, Perfect Storm, Children of the Corn, Revelation, which whatever.
It's a bit corny. Kind of left field.
Just looking through here to see if there's anything else. Terminator Salvation, of course, like you said, he plays like the main general, which again is totally against how the story would be said, but whatever. X-Men First Class.
He was in that one?
Yeah. He played...
Oh, yeah, he played the
Captain of the 7th Fleet.
Yeah.
Synchronicity, Space Between, Stillborn, Knuckleball. Yeah, he hasn't been in anything, according to this, in a while, in like 2 years. His TV credits, Hawaii 5-0, he was on recently, like last year. Of course, there's nothing really coming out, so how old is he? Let's look at that.
He's 70.
Is he? Okay, yeah. So he might get in some other stuff.
Also, he's Canadian. I thought he was an American.
Well, then, how about that? Okay, so yeah, that is your cast. Let's move on to the story. Yes, the story.
Or the story within the story.
That's true. So basically, Douglas Quaid is a construction worker, if I remember right. Of course, it has a great scene, where he has the jackhammer. And
just to make him look jacked, really.
Yes. Yeah, but he basically just shows him in his normal job. He's talking about this company called Rekall and wanting to go there. His friend tells him, I've heard bad things. I've heard this guy got, his mind all scrambled and stuff like that. So they're,
it's basically a company that gives you a mental vacation by installing memories of a vacation into your brain. A warning light right there.
But they go into extremes. So like if you just want to go on a vacation, like you and your wife can go there and basically say, hey, we want to go to Hawaii, and they put you in the chair and they put it in your brain that there you go. You've been to Hawaii, and you have, the way they say it is you have all the memories, and like you were there, but you didn't have to go there. So it's like the new way of vacationing for people who don't have quite as much money as it might cost to go there. Because I think there's some sort of a, not plague, but there's an issue with travel and going different places. I think, if I remember right, it's been a while since I've seen it, but and
Yes,
so
yeah, it's basically just you pay for having thought you were on a vacation.
exactly. So it's an easier way of doing it. He goes and he tells his wife about it too, and she kind of mentions the same thing. I wouldn't do it, and they talk about this dream he's constantly having about being on Mars, and
Yeah.
that's the one he's interested in, which is among the more extreme options of this company, because there's a wide range of options, you know.
Yeah, and then he also sees on TV that they've found alien artifacts on Mars, and that there's riots going on on Mars as well. And you see, what's his name, Milos Cohagen, played by Ronnie Cox, who's the guy in charge of Mars, really.
Yes, like the mayor of the colony or whatever.
Yeah.
But so he goes to Rekall, and that's when you get to the whole thing of, you know, you can pick the vacation where you want to go. If you're by yourself, you can pick a person to go with, a mate, and you can customize that person the way you want. And you can customize the type of vacation or adventure. So in this case, he picks Mars, picks a certain female, and then he also picks
Secret Agent. It's basically a Bond.
Yeah. So they start, and something goes wrong, and he freaks out, breaks out, and gets away. Or did it, no. They knock him out.
Wakes up in a Johnny cab.
Yeah, but what you find out right here is that, you know, when they do knock him out, he's like, "What happened?" And they say, "Oh well, he started just losing his crap, talking about something about his mission and all this." And they said, "Well, did you, you know?" It basically, I think it comes down to the technician says, "Well, we never put the memory in there." So now you have a question from this point on: is this the memory, or is this reality?
I personally think it is. That's where his spy story starts.
Yes.
Because just as he passes out, we see the female option he picks for the story is exactly the face of the one he meets later.
Yes. That's
my personal opinion. And all of the stuff he's getting in his memory is stuff he's just been exposed to. You know, he saw the Mars stuff on TV, and saw Cohagen being a bit of a dictator. So
yeah, and so he has all the built-in stuff to make this a part of his memory, but it is still a question, really, if it's you know, reality or not. But
yeah.
But you know, I think it's a subjective thing. The viewer can make their own decision on. Anyways, he ends up going back home and finds out that actually what he thought was his wife is an agent placed there to make sure he was staying, you know, out of sight. Basically,
the very same person who didn't want him to go to Mars.
Exactly.
Earlier.
So she says, you know, basically she's there to make sure that what we've now been told is that, hold on just a second
here.
Sorry, my system goes weird sometimes. We find out that she's been put there to make sure that his memory wipe.
Yeah, and she's really Michael Ironside's wife, working undercover as a fake wife. They try to kill him. His wife tries to kill him. He overpowers her, I guess, in a fight. Runs off.
What is it with workout scenes in these sci-fi movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's another one in Running Man.
Yeah.
It's like the same scene, you know, in a very similar apartment. It's very similar, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just
So
some lady doing aerobics
yeah,
in spandex.
yeah. So, I don't know, but anyways, to roll on with this, you know.
I'm not complaining about those scenes, though.
Oh
Far
no, I'm
from
not
it.
either. No. Yeah. So he finds out that she's just been placed there. He ends up trying to find a way onto a transport to go to Mars.
Yeah, and he gets chased by Richter, played
Mm-hmm.
by Ironside. There's a shootout, several shootouts really.
Yeah.
And then he gets away on a train,
Mm-hmm. And
and we realize they're tracking him.
yes, because he has
And
a giant.
blob up
Yeah.
his nose.
Yeah, that's a definite scene right there. Um, yeah, so you know he has in this case he left himself a suitcase containing money, gadgets, fake IDs, and a video recording, and basically the recordings of himself, who identifies himself as Hauser, and explains that he used to work for Cohagen, but switched
Oh,
sides.
we're also told that Cohagen wants him alive, not dead.
Yes. But he switched sides after learning about the alien artifacts on Mars and underwent a memory wipe to protect himself. Hauser instructs himself to remove the tracking device located in his skull before ordering him to go to Mars. On arrival, he finds a note from himself directing him to Venusville, and that's pretty much a red light slash mutant district.
Yeah, it's where all the mutant whores are.
Yes, basically, and one that has an extra mammary gland.
Yeah, which is utterly impossible.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But it must be a very titillating experience.
How the hell can you handle that? What do you got to do? Have grow a third arm? I mean,
I don't know. Has to be extra nippy.
yes, it does. So basically, he goes there and he asks around for
Melina.
yeah, Melina, and I'm trying to remember if she's there or not.
Oh, he the one who gets him to Venusville is Benny,
Yes.
the cab driver,
Mm-hmm.
who is involved in the story from there on out.
Mm-hmm. And
He's a greedy little
basically,
bastard.
and Melina believes that he's still working for Cohagen at this point, if I remember right.
Yeah, and they get attacked because Richter shows up,
Mm-hmm.
having found out where they are
Yeah, and there's a scene.
without the tracker.
Yeah.
Which
There's a
is,
scene here where they break the air barrier.
Yeah, not there. It's
Is that later? Oh no, I know it. I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Arnold and Melina escape. Richter starts interrogating people and just loses his shit and shoots the three-boobed lady, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And hell breaks loose, and then Cohagen shuts off the air to Venusville.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's also the scene where the Rekall, or what he believes is Rekall people, come and tell him that this is all the implanted memory going bad, and that they need him to come back to them so they can fix it.
Yeah, and Arnold's wife shows up, and they're basically wanting him to take the red pill.
Mm-hmm.
I think
They call it a schizoid embolism.
Yeah, and Arnold takes it, and he can see, the guy who's just supposed to be an AI implant or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
starts sweating.
Yep.
So he figures, yeah, this is bullshit. So he shoots him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
and spits the pill out. Then henchman shows up. There's a fight, shootout. Sharon Stone almost kills Melina, beats the crap out of her actually, and then Arnold pulls a gun on her. She says, "But I'm your wife." Arnold shoots her in the head and says, "Consider that a divorce."
Yep.
Which always amuses me.
If only it were that simple.
Yeah.
No. So basically they end up going back to the Venusville and all that, and
There to meet with Quado,
yes.
basically the rebel leader.
Yep.
They run into what we later know is Quado. And they're led through a secret passage through some catacombs where former workers have been buried because they had to survive on crappy air and radiation and stuff. While they're going there, that's when Richter shows up and interrogates people and shoots the place up. He's enraged because Sharon Stone is dead. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, if you kill Sharon Stone, people's going to get pissed. Especially
Absolutely.
if they're sleeping with her. And we get to a very cool special effects scene where we see Quado, which is seems to be like a 90-year-old baby growth.
It's like a conjoined twin almost. I don't
Yeah.
know. But and Quado's able to read Quaid's mind, and I guess he figures out where
he gives him visions of the alien artifact, basically.
Yeah.
And he realizes they can use that to create an atmosphere on Mars.
And that's when we find out Benny is basically a double agent, I guess, in a sense.
Basically just paid off to... he's in it for the money.
Yeah. And he shoots George, which is Quado's symbiont.
Yeah.
And as Quado's dying, as George is dying and Quado's dying too, he says you have to go and activate the reactor. And then Richter shows up and shoots him. Shoots Quado.
Shoots him in the head.
Yeah. And
which is...
yeah.
If you have a growth, shoot it off, right?
Yep. Quaid and Melina are taken to Cohagen, who explains that Quaid's persona was a ploy by Hauser to fool the mutant psychic abilities. And he tries to, again, explain that this is yet again another storyline. Originally it was this, and now it's this, and then it's this. It's like it constantly changes because they go with the ploy that this isn't real with the Rekall people. And then they go with the ploy of, yes, this is real, but we planned it this way, so this would happen. Again, the story changes quite a bit. Basically they get out of there, and I believe Quaid then... That's the part where Quaid kills... he kills Benny, right? After they get away.
Yeah, Benny tries to... they go into the catacombs again. Because Arnold knows the way into the reactor. And Benny's just there with the drill machine. Which I always thought was very convenient. Why would he even be there, right? Hanging out in the catacombs? And Arnold screws him, basically, with the drill.
Yes. Yeah. Because he jumps up on top of the excavation machine that he's in, and screw you, Benny.
Yeah, screw you. I laughed so hard when I saw that one. It's just... Sorry, I have dark humor. Then they get through because the drill machine drills a hole in the sealed off area,
Mm-hmm.
which is where the reactor is. And Arnold explains the core of Mars is a glacier,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And the machine heats it up and creates an atmosphere. Then Richter and his goons are there. And they, Melina and Arnold uses one of the Bond gadgets he has that creates a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
And they take him out, and Arnold and Richter starts fighting on an elevator.
Yeah.
And brutal fight, lots of screaming from Arnold, which makes everyone laugh.
Mm-hmm.
He tosses Richter off the elevator, and then the next floor happens, and Richter's dangling by his arms, which gets severed.
Yep.
And he falls down. Arnold's standing there with his stumps and says, "See you at the party." And tosses the stumps down, which I also find highly amusing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he gets to the control room. Cohagen's waiting there. He claims that if they start the reactor, it'll destroy everybody and everything. Melina comes, shoots Cohagen, but he starts the timer. He throws the bomb down the tunnel, blowing the door open. And then that's when the decompression happens.
Yeah, and they get sucked out onto Mars,
Yes.
where they start to look ugly.
Yes, very much so. But before that happens, he manages to start the reactor.
Yeah.
And basically, because of that, when they get sucked out, they're starting to go crazy, but or starting to not be able to breathe, and their faces start to boil or whatever. And
Yeah, Ronnie Cox's eyes pop
yeah,
completely out.
yeah, yes, they do.
Arnold starts looking like a pig, and he sounds like a pig,
Yeah,
which is that. Well, I know it's not trivia, but the trivia segment. But when Arnold is at his worst, and his eyes are almost out, and he's squealing like a pig and all that. That's actually Arnold Schwarzenegger's sex face. That's how it looks like when he has sex.
how would you know that?
I read it in a book.
Oh, okay, cool, nice. Yeah, and then basically he kind of pauses at this point as everybody's coming out on this outcropping and seeing the blue sky now starting, which this whole thing happens really quick, but whatever. But Quaid seems to pause and wonder if this is reality or not, and then he turns and kisses Melina and pretty much decides that I don't care. He doesn't care at this point if this is reality or not. And I think that's the thing. At the end of the movie, you as the viewer are left with, is it reality or is this all just a fake out?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's a great movie because it does give you a conversation piece of, is it real or is it not? So, hey, Soul Assassin, how you doing?
Personally, I think it is the implant, because it's right after he gets put in that chair, the whole movie changes into a spy movie.
Yeah, and that could be very
Bond gadgets and all that.
That could be very true. All right, let's go to the next segment. It is our favorite scenes. Our favorite scenes next up. Why don't you go ahead?
Favorite scene in this one. I think it's the one-liners. Because there's quite a few of them in this one.
The way they're all set up are pretty cool.
And they also, and like I said, the one-liners starts when the movie starts turning into a spy movie as well. There's none of them before that.
No, not really.
Yeah, I think his fight with Richter on the elevator I thought was fun. Yeah, I think if I have to pick one, that's it, because I wouldn't say this movie has too many memorable scenes.
No.
It's not like Terminator when he I'll be back and all that.
Hmm.
This is yeah, none of them really stands out. I think for me at least.
Yeah, I don't disagree. One of my favorite scenes is the Quato. I'm big on
Oh shit, I forgot about Kuaro. Yeah,
yeah.
that
I
one. Yeah,
like the special effects. They're practical in this movie.
yeah.
So that part right there is it's so cool to see when they can do that and make it look believable. I mean, it's not real, but it's still believable enough to keep you in that movie. So there's nothing in this movie that really takes you out of that. I think the scene where he's dressed as the woman, and the head comes off, I do like that. That was pretty cool, how they did that. And as brutally painful as it is to watch, I didn't mind the extraction of
Oh yeah,
the
the
um,
nose thing. That
yeah.
one. Yeah, stop picking your nose, Arnold. You're overdoing it.
Yeah. And Lady Turiel says, "This and Bond always great one-liners." Absolutely.
Arnold Schwarzenegger actually asked to get one-liners like that in his movies because he wanted to mimic Bond a bit because he was a huge Bond fan and he liked the one-liners because he thought they added to the movies, and he was right.
Yeah.
If if you think about it, Schwarzenegger and Bond are pretty much the only one that continually does that.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So next up would be trivia. Trivia. Go ahead. I'll let you tell your first one.
Yeah, and I noticed this without looking at the trivia. I was looking at the movie,
Hmm.
watching it, and in the Johnny Cab scene when Arnold wakes up, the Johnny Cab robot thing is whistling. It is whistling the Norwegian national anthem. I don't know why he's doing that, but trust me, I know that tune.
I'll do two. They kind of piggyback on each other. If you like Blade Runner, which we've talked about before, this movie is based off of a story in 2048 or 2049 in Blade Runner. I mean, is that what you're saying, JJ?
I
I'll
don't
have to.
think they used any mask in that one.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I'll have him explain that a little bit more. But so Blade Runner was based off of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was a Philip K. Dick story, and this also was based off of a Philip K. Dick story called Do We Sell Dreams Wholesale, I believe.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of that, there was actually a script written for Arnold Schwarzenegger to star in Total Recall 2. Total Recall 2, the script was based off of another Philip K. Dick story called The Minority Report.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
I
yeah,
did not know that.
yeah. So, and we know that later on was made with Tom Cruise, and I don't know. It was
It was
interesting.
okay.
Yeah, it was okay. But I would have been interested to see how Total Recall 2 would have been based off the Minority Report. I know that he was still supposed to be Douglas Quaid, and he was supposed to be a reformed law enforcer. So I don't know. So basically, I guess that they were going to make the Martian clairvoyant to help solve the crime. So similar to how it is in Tom Cruise's, but not exactly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of. Oh yeah, I know another one. There's a rated X version of this. Originally, when it was finished, it was given a rated X version, and or not a rated X version. It was rated X by the MPAA, and I'm trying to remember here. I'm looking here. The following are scenes that were trimmed to receive an R rating. Benny's death is optically cropped to remove the exiting drill erupting from his stomach. The innocent bystander used as a shield was bloodier before trimming. The stabbing of Helm in the bar had the Bowie knife slicing up his stomach. Stills of this were actually featured in Fangoria magazine at the time of the film's release. Several shots of the scientist being killed by Quaid after he breaks free from the implant machine were shortened, and the scene of Richter's arms being severed was shortened.
Oh, ironic since the arms were shortened.
They were. Yeah, but so that's another piece of trivia for you that this has
Richter
a rated X version. Yeah.
Richter will never come to grips with that.
No. No, indeed.
He kept him at arm's length.
Yeah,
okay,
he did. Stop. Well, his own arms. Let's go to our final thoughts and ratings. I'll let you start.
Well, I do have some nostalgia for this. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. It's an excellent sci-fi movie, by all means. Even if you believe it was a dream or not, doesn't matter. It's still a good sci-fi movie. Also a good action movie. All the actors are excellent in it. Michael Ironside, I think, steals the show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not my favorite Arnold movie either. I think it's one of those movies I like, that I want to like more than I actually like.
I can see that.
Do you want my rating too?
Yes, go right ahead. And remember, we can go 0.5 or whatever you want.
That's fine. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with any of that. I like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but this is not. I don't know. It seems like this movie should have been better than what it was. I guess maybe watching the remake makes you appreciate this one a little more. But yeah, it kind of lacks in several parts, and it just doesn't. I don't know. It just kind of seems clumsily put together at times.
Kind of like it's not as engaging as it should have been.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. And I do like the visuals. I like the special effects. Arnold is pretty much classic Arnold in this. I think maybe the beginning of it makes it a little tough to watch too, because he's trying to be a normal person right at the beginning, and that's a little different than what we're used to. So, but as soon as it goes into the spy thriller side of it, it picks up. But yeah, it's missing something, and I can't really put my finger on what it is, but it's still good. Yeah, Soul Assassin, you do not want to recall the remake.
Yeah, you totally don't want to recall that.
Oh, they reused the same mask in the remake. Okay, yeah, that's possible. Like I said, I watched it once and said, okay, never again. But I wouldn't give this a 3.5 because I don't know, maybe it's the special effects and stuff like that kind of help the movie out. But but you're absolutely right. It's just not the strongest offering from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that would give us a 6.5 out of 10 rating, guys. A 6.5 out of 10 rating, a little lower than 7, which I would consider is a go watch it movie. This is a little under a go watch it.
It's worth a watch, I'd say. Yeah. But I don't think it's something you want to watch over and over again.
Yeah. Hey, Dandelion, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. We're about ready to wrap up, but I appreciate it. Stopping by and giving us a shout out there. Thank you very much. But we're right up against the hour. So let's go ahead and let you speak about yourself, which you love to do, I know. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, and all that good stuff.
Nerdy guy from Norway who likes to talk about movies and books or whatever.
And ducks.
I don't talk about them much, but
I know.
Everyone knows about them. Tiny YouTube channel with some nonsense on it, which I created out of peer pressure. That's it. You'll usually find me here or on Christie's channel on Saturdays, or Sporking's channels on Mondays and Mondays and Wednesdays,
Cool.
talking about the Game of Thrones books in
Yes.
depth.
That's tonight.
And the good lady Toriel is on Wednesdays as well, so she will be on today.
Awesome. That's great. Yes, so guys, go check that out. And I am Chris Knight. This is the Real Review 3000. Again, we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers now. We're over the 3,000 mark, trying to do that before the first of the year. So if you guys can help me out, if you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. Go check me out on Facebook. Make sure you like that page. Go to Instagram, follow me on there. And follow me on Twitter at chrisknight5150. We also have a Patreon page. All of that information is down in the description box, along with Stig's information. So we plan to have another movie talk out next week. We recorded it, and it'll be out next week. But Stig, as always, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the time you give us, and excellent talking about this movie. So thank you very much. Oh. You there, Stig?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you were going to play the...
No, not yet. I always say goodbye. I was just saying thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, and goodbye to everyone who watched.
Goodbye.
Goodbye there.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. Be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.